Mr. Ambassador, nice to see you, sir.
Glad to see you.
Russia's had some sort of nuclear incident. Can you tell me what the latest on that is? What
well,
we know?
I can't. Well, we know more than I'm going to tell you. I'll put it that way.
Okay, fair enough. What can you tell me?
But this is an example of Russia trying to make technological advances in their ability to deliver nuclear weapons. Something obviously has gone badly wrong here. But it demonstrates that although Russia's economy is roughly the size of the Netherlands, it's still spending enough on defense to not only modernize their nuclear arsenal, to build new kinds of delivery vehicles, hypersonic glide vehicles, hypersonic cruise missiles, largely stolen from American technology. So dealing with this capability and the possibility that other countries would get it too remains a real challenge for the United States and its allies, no doubt about it.
What's the relationship with Putin and the United States right now?
Well, I think President Trump thinks he's got a very good personal relationship with President Putin. We've had a number of meetings with him on a range of subjects. Just a couple of weeks ago, really, I met with my Russian counterpart and our Israeli counterpart in Jerusalem to have a three-way National Security Advisers meeting on Syria, the presence of Iran in Syria. So we're talking to them. We have a counterterrorism dialogue with them. There are a lot of issues that we have in disagreement, no doubt about it.
But how's having a, quote, good relationship with them if they're doing something, testing nuclear weapons of some sort? They're, I think, perhaps they're dealing with Venezuela, which is mischief to the world. How does having a good relationship make us any safer? I mean, while these things are going on.
Well, I think the President hopes that the personal relationship he has will translate into something more. And we had negotiations with them over getting out of the INF Treaty, which they understood. We said they were violating the treaty, which they were, but we had other reasons to get out of it as well because of the threat of China's intermediate range missiles, which also threaten Russia much more than they threaten the United States. So I do think there are common strategic interests, particularly dealing with the rising military power of China. And I've had conversations with the Russians on that score. I think there are more to come.
Iran moving forward with a nuclear program?
Well, I think that Iran is another example. It's a country that never really made the key decision to give up nuclear weapons. They have not modified their widespread support for international terrorism. They've not given up their troublemaking in the Middle East, in Iraq, and Syria, and Yemen. There's still a threat in the Persian Gulf to oil. They're a threat to our forces, not just in Iraq and Syria, but now in Afghanistan. This is a regime really that needs a fundamental change in its behavior.
It seems like as we've gone around the world, there certainly is a big appetite among many for nuclear weapons.
Well, I think if you ask President Trump what's the single greatest threat he sees in the world, it's nuclear proliferation. And I certainly agree with that. That's why we've got to find a solution to North Korea and Iran. We've got to prevent other countries from thinking that if those countries are able to get nuclear weapons, so can we. That's one of the issues with proliferation, is each new nation gets a nuclear capability, it's an incentive to others. And let's be clear, nobody else is going to stop countries from getting nuclear weapons beside the United States. If we're not able, by diplomacy or other means, to stop it, we're going to see a world in 30 or 40 years with many, many countries having nuclear weapons. That would be a substantial threat.